speaking with artist David Lawrence, who is a Philadelphia resident. He's an artist, a mixed media artist. I've had the pleasure of knowing him for quite some time, and it's always a pleasure to see him. Hotep, brother, what's going on?
Peace and blessings.
All right, need you to speak up a little bit louder.
Peace and blessings to you.
You're here at the 20th annual International Locks Conference. What's an artist like yourself doing at a venue like this?
Well, I took a chance, and I've been coming to it over the years, off and on. And I said, let me experience, I might meet some people. I'm always trying to do things for the community.
Right.
Come back to the community, not get detached from it. I'm going in a sort of a different direction with my market as far as what I'm trying to do with my art. I'm trying to take it more on a national, international level. But you always got to come back to the community and connect with the people. So I'm here for that reason.
Now, but you've always had galleries in the community. You never detached yourself from the community.
No, but there's a lot of galleries slowly closing, and there's not a lot of venues for outlets for galleries to be exposed in those kind of venues. I'm actually doing a show tonight at Vivant Gallery, her 7th annual closing event celebration. So we're doing.
That's the lady who's on 2nd Street.
2nd Street.
Right. Yeah.
So when I leave here tonight, I'm going over there to help her out with an art auction. So yeah, but I'm getting ready to do some things as far as trying to create some venues personally where I can give exposure to other artists as well as myself.
Talk about some of the pieces that you have right here. What's right next to you? You're a mixed medium, so what's your primary mediums that you use?
Well, I've always had a love for oils.
Right.
But now, secondly, I'm using a lot of acrylics. I just incorporated watercolors for the first time this year into my work. Now, an example of my watercolor pieces is here. Here I'm using watercolors to create sort of a soft effect. And then I still work with the acrylics, composition, collage, composition gold leafing, and patina, which you use on metals. I'm also using iridescent paints to create sort of a two-tone effect.
It's almost like a three-dimensional kind of.
And here is collage over top of acrylics. So it definitely helps to create different things because I use them as technologies. Whatever technology works best in that area. So some technologies or paints or mediums, I can work on top of them in layers. So when you see it in different lighting, it creates different moods and different effects. Daylight brings out the composition gold leafings, and in nighttime, just like the stars in the sky, I have sparkles underneath, and it creates like stars. So this is one of my newest paintings called Shekinah, Divine Feminine.
I was just about to say, you've always been, excuse me, African-centered in your themes.
Correct.
And a lot of, I would say, cultural symbolism. Some of them I could see even almost Native American as well as African. So where do you get? What's the genesis for that?
Well, I mean, for me, I've been collecting African sculpture for over 20 years, and that's been my inspiration. A lot of the masters, whether it be Cubists or Harlem Renaissance artists, or artists that were in the Cubist movement, were inspired by African sculpture. So when I found out that also inspired me to start looking into African artists and collection. I've been collecting, and what it did was it gave me information and knowledge about all the different cultures and tribes that were in Africa. Prior to that, I didn't know any of them exist. So now I know the Dogon exists, and the Biole, and the Sanufu, and the Dogon, and Benin. So, these are different cultures. So when I started studying those different cultures, I started using their patterns and techniques and symbols that they use in their different cultures and the colors. So for instance, the Maasai use the blues and the reds and the purples a lot in there, and indigo.
So you're actually incorporating the indigenous colors and the patterns in your work.
Yes.
Okay.
So, because you never know who might come from that culture. Right now, I'm with a friend of mine, Herb Bingham, and his wife, Lucy, from Kenya, who would know if I'm using the right colors or not. And so they say, well, you've captured my color, my culture properly. So you never know if I'm doing Kemet, I'm using earth tones, greens, the same colors that we're using Kemet. And they use a different color pattern and colors in Kenya, in South Africa, than they do in West Africa. More earth tones, mud cloth, and so forth in West Africa, from Benin and Dogon and so forth, and Mali and so forth. So right now I'm doing a new style, which is called the Metamorphosis series, and that's dealing with the cosmos.
But you always had the cosmos theme, and you always had that. A lot of it was like subliminal, but
yes.
Yeah, you know, you always had that.
Well, what this one is, it's helping me connect more with the God within. And also, it's more universally accepted as far as when I'm doing shows around the country. It doesn't have any
ethnicity
in it. So I find that more people buy it. So I'm doing that for that reason. And I've done a test market around the country, different, most East Coast, and the response has been very good. Actually, so because I'm doing more mainstream shows, it's more mainstream.
So your name is getting out there more?
Yes. Okay. Because of those shows, you get that whole different demographic.
So last time I saw you, you had a gallery in Germantown. You still there?
I'm still at Germantown, 10 West Harvey Street, right next to Germantown High School. Got
a website that people can go and see your work?
Well, you can find me at Doradus, DORADUS, art.com.
Okay.
And I'm on Facebook.
Now, can they do e-commerce on?
No.
No.
You have to still see me at 10 West Harvey Street.
Okay, all right.
For the time being.
Okay.
I'm actually developing a new website, but until that happens, you know, you can always call me.
Okay. Give us your number.
347-683-3547.
Okay, slow down a little bit. Give that again.
347-683-3547.
Okay, now your Facebook page, does that have a larger view of your inventory?
Yes, you can look online and you'll see under the photo section, you'll see about 20 images that I've created.
Okay. All right.
That you can order if you call.
Now, are these prints, or these are basically
This is the original, and this is the original. No, the original is mixed media. And you have face, eyes, and different mediums.
Okay, all right. So when people get something like that, this is not a repo.
No, this is a one of a kind. This is also a one of a kind.
We sold 3 of them already.
Okay. All right.
That's the last one.
All right, give your phone number. What's your Facebook site?
Facebook, you could be under David Lawrence at Philadelphia.
David Lawrence at Philadelphia?
Yeah, you can catch me as David Lawrence, Philadelphia.
Okay.
And you'll see me there.
Okay. All right, give us your phone number again.
347-683-3547.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.